I think to start off with, we will play deck. Simic Elves is hilarious because it doesn't work. Doesn't work. I was trying. I think it has to be Simic Merfolk for the +1/+1 counters because of Simic Ascendancy. So let's go and have a quick squeezy at Podracer Vannifar. So what is this deck? Well, this all revolves around Prime Speaker Vannifar. So for 2 colors, 1 green and 1 blue, we get a legendary creature, Elf, Ooze Wizard. Because you're a wizard, Harry? This legendary creature has tap and sacrifice another creature to search your library for a creature card with converted mana cost equal to 1+ the casting cost of the sacrificed creature, or mana cost. Put that card onto the battlefield and then shuffle your library. Activate this ability anytime you could cast a sorcery. So, as you may already be aware, this is Pod, which is great. So, Birthing Pod on a creature. Now, I'm going to say this because everyone's like, it's the same mana cost. It's not the same mana cost. Yes, you can cheat this out on 3. Birthing Pod, you could cheat out on 2. Okay? But there's no activation cost, which is slightly better. But blue, green, and 2 is slightly worse. People keep telling everyone that, oh, this is so good and it's just as good as Pod. It's not. It's not. Because Pod was 3 colors and 1 Phyrexian. You could pay 2 life and play it for 3 mana. And the activation cost life, basically. So don't ever let anyone tell you differently, because they are wrong, wrong, wrong. Now we're only playing 4 spells in this deck, and that is our 4 copies of Dive Down. So for 1 blue we get an instant. The target creature you control gets +0/+3 and gains hexproof to the end of turn. So this means that we can protect our Prime Speaker or our Shalai or whatever it might be at the time, but generally we want to kind of protect our Pod creature. This deck works without the Pod creature, in theory, but it is extremely creature heavy. Like, this has a stupid amount of creatures in it. So at the 1 slot we've got Llanowar Elves because they help us speed out other creatures as well as our Pod Speaker. So this is tap, add 1 green, obviously. We also have 1 copy of Siren Stormtamer specifically for the ability that we can pay a blue and sacrifice it to counter target spell or ability that targets us or a creature we control. Especially when it comes to Settle the Wreckage or removal. Siren Stormtamers can be really good. Tithe Taker is another very, very interesting card that I'm really excited to play with. So this is 1 white and 1 colors for a 2/1 human soldier. During your turn, spells your opponents cast cost 1 more to cast, and abilities your opponents activate cost 1 more to activate unless they're a mana ability. And it has Afterlife 1, so when it dies it gives you a 1/1. So this basically means that your opponent won't be able to cast stuff against you on your turn on a curve, basically. Okay. So it makes it easier for you to kind of protect your creatures and stuff. Mostly, for the most part. We are, of course, running 4 copies of Druid of the Cowl. Again, just like Llanowar Elves, taps for a green, it's a 1/3 elf. We just want it in there just so that we can get stuff that we need, basically. It just helps us power out things. We're we're playing 1 copy of Lavinia, Azorus Renegade. This is our legendary creature, human soldier for 1 blue and 1 white. Each opponent can't cast non-creature spells with converted mana cost greater than the number of lands that player controls. So they can't cheat stuff out early, which is nice. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it, counter that spell. High Storm, we're going to stop you. We're also looking at 3 copies of Militia Bugler. Now this probably could be 4, but I actually chucked in the Lavinia instead of a 4th copy of the Bugler. So this is a human soldier, a 2/3 for 3 with vigilance, and when it enters the battlefield you get to look at the top 4 cards of your library. And then you'll be able to put 1 creature card with the power 2 or less from among them into your hand and the rest in the bottom of your library in any order. Notice that Prime Speaker Potiphar is actually a 2/4, so this actually can dig out a Prime Speaker, which is pretty cool. It has a lot of targets in this deck. We're running 3 copies of Deputy Detention now. I have been trying this deck out this morning, and I tell you what, I feel like there should actually be 4 copies. I came up against Magic Mike's and they were playing some Kaya Esper control deck, and I feel like if I had the 4th Deputy of Detention, I would have been able to lock up another Planeswalker and maybe not died to Kaya, because she smashed my face in, and I told people that that was a good Planeswalker and nobody believed me. So you are wrong. Oops, we accidentally... See, that's what happens when we accidentally click. There we go. We accidentally removed a copy. We're playing 1 copy of Knight of Autumn. This probably could be 2, to be honest. It's a very good toolbox card, and in this deck that's exactly what it is. So for 1 colourless, 1 green and 1 white, we get a 2/1. And when it enters the battlefield, we get to choose 1, put 2+1/+1 counters on it, destroy target artifact or enchantment, or you gain 4 life. Pretty standard, pretty good. We are playing 2 copies of Shalaya Voice of Plenty. So this basically just makes your creatures and you hexproof, other than itself, because it can't itself. But it's a great way to kind of lock it down so that your stuff can't be killed. The only main problem with a deck like this is it dies to mass removal, and there is a white card that we'll have a look at in just a second, out of the new set. It's a new, I think it's a rare, and it makes everything indestructible. That might be worth looking at for this particular deck for best of 1. We are playing 3 copies of Conclave Cavalier. Now, I do not like the casting cost of this creature, but if we can pod through Bugler into a Conclave and then into one of our 5-drops, it's pretty good, because when it dies, it actually gives you 2+2s. Stupid. 2/2/2 green and white elf knight creature tokens with vigilance. It itself is a 4/4 with vigilance. It is, of course, a centaur knight. For 2 green and 2 white. Again, not really a big fan of that casting cost. So at the moment you can see exactly what this deck is looking to do. It's toolboxing, it's getting you stuff to finish the game basically. Speaking of finishing the game, we have Lyra Dawnbringer. This is a big mythic angel. For 2 white and 3 colours, it has flying, first strike and lifelink, and other angels you control, which is not that relevant, get +1/+1 and have lifelink. We also have a Trostani Discordant. This helps you close out the game. This is 3 colours, 1 green and 1 white for a legendary Dryad. Other creatures you control get +1/+1, which is real handy when you've got a mass go wide strategy of weird creatures. And it also enters the battlefield and creates 2 1/1 white soldier creature tokens with lifelink. At the beginning of your end step, each player gains control of all creatures they own, which doesn't matter in this matter really. Like there is some times where stuff's going to get stolen off you and then Trostani's going to give it back, but generally speaking it doesn't really matter that much. 1 copy of Carnage Tyrant. Now to explain here, we have very limited spots and this deck is jammed pack full of creatures. I think it's like 22 lands. 22 lands. The rest of it is all creatures and 4 spells. So we didn't have a lot of room left. So we've got 1 copy of Carnage Tyrant, obviously can't be countered, trample, hexproof, 7/6. If you don't know about this big ugly dinosaur, it is ugly, it is big, and it smashes face. We also have 1 copy of Azor the Lawbringer. This is 2 colours, 2 white and 2 blue for a legendary creature Sphinx Mythic. It is flying. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent can't cast instant or sorcery spells during that player's next turn. Remember that when it enters the battlefield, you don't have to cast this for that ability to go off. You can pot it for that ability to go off. That's really great. Whenever Azor attacks, you may pay X white, blue, and if you do, you gain X life and draw X cards. Pretty damn shibby. Pretty shibby. Cool. Okay, that's the deck. Again, I've been meddling with it. It needs some changes. It's not 100% just yet, but we're going to go through and we're going to have a bit of a play and see how we do. Pre-releases this weekend. Who's choosing what for their guilds? I actually went Simic, surprisingly. Why would I do that? Oh, 2 lanes. Ooh, that's not the greatest. We do have a pod though, but we don't have any accelerants. Let's mull and see what. Ah. Okay. It's probably gonna get. Oh, that's even worse. I don't think we're gonna go any further. So that was horrible. I think we've already lost. Unfortunately, it just means we're going to play out the game and let our opponents smash us. Hang on a sec. I'm still here. Alright. We are so gonna die. Sandwich. It is lunchtime here in Melbourne, just in case you were wondering. Wow, okay. I guess our opponent also got a really crap hand, so that's a thing? I mean, we're working off 1 land at the moment, so... Oh, our opponent has 2 lands. Game over, guys. Game over. Are you not going to attack with it? Okay, sure. Still no lands. Great. Yeah, just block it. That's fine. Oh, you know what? I probably should have... That's fine. That's fine. See, this has been one of the problems I've had lately with... Oh, Lotus. Druid. This is one of the problems I've had with MTGRNA lately, is that I've been having really poor draws, and I know it has something to do with the percentage and how mulligans work or something, but I need to look into it more to try and figure that one out, because yeah, I love the game, but I'm not loving this. You see, Michi, this is a good reason why somebody's going to concede. And look at this! We're not even drawn into any of our yellow sources, our white sources. It's gonna happen. It happens. Arena land seem bug. A little bit, yeah. I think that the algorithm they're using it needs a little bit of work, perhaps. I'm gonna have to block here. And then I'm gonna dive down just so that I can like keep my creature alive. Because I need the mana, sadly. This is just always the way, right? Like, we always have that terrible first game and then we just smash it. I can't play on this. Let's concede. I'm gonna good game you anyway, because, you know, good game. So, just in case you're wondering, we are playing against roughly 370 odd other content creators. I was testing out multiple decks this morning. I faced Keebler when I was playing my like weird counters deck. It's basically Simic Ascendancy, and I got smashed. So that was interesting. I felt bad because I knew he was streaming at the time. I smashed Seth with the Jund deck that we'll get to later, which I think is actually a good deck. It kind of needs some board wipe, but at this point, that Jund deck seems alright. This isn't PUBG. I look at it with you face cam up. I have to. It's a hashtag sponsored stream by Wizards. I have to show my ugly mug. What are you talking about, mate? How was your stream, Roy? Looks like you were having lots of fun. Smuggy. Yeah, I guess we'll just slap a land down. It's unfortunate because it means that we're technically a turn behind. but it doesn't matter because we don't have a turn 3 pod anyway. I hate Overwatch. I used to love Overwatch so much. I used to think it was so great. And I was playing it on PS4, but I just got to the point where I was just like, why am I still playing this? What does this do? I don't understand. Just because of balancing issues and stuff, and just like being forced to play with other players. Just because like at the time I didn't have I didn't know enough people who played. What are we playing off this? No, we'll pay the life. We want this gone, I think, from memory. Creature spells you control can't be countered. Non-token creatures you control have Riot. Oh yeah, Riot's bad. But Shalai is better. I was like, Deputy of Detention. I'm like, no wait, Shalai protects our other creatures. Nuke the enchantment. I will nuke the enchantment. I'll just give it a turn. Let's see what they play on their turn for. We'll find out if it was a hashtag punt. But I think that our opponent's going to end up trying to take out Shalai faster than anything. I mean, at the moment, our opponent's probably trying to work out what we're actually playing. Jack Torrance. Nope, don't know who you are. Manifestly please. Yeah, but Roy, you have to come play PUBG one night. Even off stream. Because sometimes you just gotta play off stream. I know that all too well. Like sometimes you just gotta. I just want time for me. Let me have time. Ooh. That's a 6/6. I honestly thought that they were gonna try and take out Shalai. Well, we're going to keep the blue up, so we want to go white, blue, and 1. Deputy of Detention. Detention can take out the enchantment. I feel like we don't attack here, actually. It's going to attack in the air, but I feel like I'm going to keep Shalai up, just in case I need to block. No, I should have just attacked. That's alright. It's fine. Not sure you'd be able to put up with my language off stream. It gets pretty colourful, salty. No, I can. Trust me. Off stream, I swear like a sailor. Very much so. I might be a little bit too sass sometimes. Not gonna attack? Good idea. Oh, there's Pod Boy. Alright. Or Pod Girl, really. Well, considering everything else has Hexproof, let's pod it up. No attacks. Yeah, that's right. I've got Pod. How you doing? You gonna attack? Or are you gonna attempt to wipe the board, actually? Lurk mode engage. Feels like that I should put a command on the bot that's just like exclamation point lurk mode. You can't cast non-creature spells. Whenever you tap a land for mana, add 1 mana of any type that land could produce. Wow. Okay, well that's pretty good then, isn't it? Alright, let's Militia Bugler. Because the Bugle Boy from Company C will fetch us a Druid. I think we're going to pod... What are we going to pod? We don't have a Druid. I wish we had a Druid. Because then we could get another detention. Alright, let's do the Bugler. And I guess we'll grab a Conclave. And then no attacks. Opponent's going to cast another Dino Kick to fight July. Yeah, that's fine. I'm expecting it. That's why I run 2 Shalais in the deck. Oh, that's not... No, that's... No. No, that's not alright. Well, things just got a little bit nasty. Deal 3 damage to target creature for 3 mana. For 3 mana, destroy target artifact or enchantment. For 3 mana, gain 3 life. We might actually just be dead here, because that is much worse. Oh boy. Wow. Oh, now it's going to be kick to kill Shalai. Yeah, that's much worse. Ugh. Yeah. Okay. Now they're going to get their enchantment back. They're going to kill my Pod Racer. Well, that's, oh, that's nasty. Maybe we need Conclave Tribunal? Oh, boy. Okay, okay, Drew to the Cow. It doesn't matter because it's just going to be able to burn everything, isn't he? I think we're at a point now where we're just going to die to this. And we don't have any discourse around it. No attacks. Oh, that is just... I think I need a sip of coffee from that. Absolutely can have your enchantment back, sure. I don't feel like I'm dead at all. Oh, geez, they've got enough mana. Maybe they play their cheaper Crater Hoof. Yeah, exactly. Nakia plus Zakama equals... Ouch! Wow, whoa. Okay, yeah. No, that's not good. That's a big Hydroid Krasis. Yeah, we're just no blocks. We're just dead here. GG. That's, yeah, that was gonna happen. Feel real bad now. Real bad. Because that could have been real good, but... Wow. Super Joe. All these people, I have no idea who they are. It's funny when you're in an event like this and you realize just how many people you don't actually know. At all. You just don't. We'll keep this. I mean, it's horrible, but we'll keep it. Forest, Llanowar Elves go. I actually kind of want to run the other... Oh, nice. I actually kind of want to run the other elf, the Lotus Elf, just because I think it's superior. It's one less attack and defense than Druid, but I kind of feel like it's sort of better than Druid in a way. Let's grab Tithe Taker. Just because, like, if you put a +1/+1 counter on it, it gives you 3 mana. But at the same time, it's just kind of like, is that what I want to do? Is that what I am doing? What am I doing with my life? Speaking of life, ouch. Should have played the Sun Petal. That was my bad. No attacks. I mean, this couldn't block, so I probably should have actually attacked through. But whatever. What else, Traz? Who cares? Who cares? Experimental Frenzy this early? Okay, sure. Bwop, bwop, bwop. Bwop, bwop. Okay, so you can't block me anyway. So, do I need mana for anything? 5. No? Okay, great. Let's get in there with 2. Then we will pod. Probably Bugler for Shalai. Sounds like a pretty good idea. Get some protection going on. Let's play a Tithe Taker. We're looking okay now. Looking fine. Fine, just fine. Everyone's playing it. Rhythm of the Wild. Well, everyone but me, I guess. Yep. And just tapped. I guess we'll tap a Llanowar to play a Llanowar. And then... Yep. So then we'll pod. If we pod Shalai, we open ourselves to removal, which is probably not great, but our opponent is relying on the top of their deck at the moment. So it's not really that bad. We can get Trostani. Let's do that. And we'll attack for 3. We'll get in there. Treasure map? Sure. Little elves. So our opponent's 5/5 is now online. Yep. We'll pay the 2 life. We'll then Azor. I think we'll just pass the turn here. I mean, let's... Yep. Let's kill a Tithe Taker. I think we'll get a Militia Bugler or a Detention. Probably a Detention, actually. Detention. Wipe out your 5/5. Then we'll swing in 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Cool. I don't think that the Experimental Frenzy works in a deck like this. I feel like it works much better in something like the red-black burn deck, the Rakdos burn, which is I've been told is quite powerful, kind of scary. Okay, let's pod something. Let's pod Militia Bugler. We don't need to, I don't think, but just in case. We're going to grab Shalai. We'll just attack with 7/7 and the 2/2 and see what happens. Decline. We don't want to pay the mana. Alright, cool. We got there. We got there. Sweet victory. I'm so goofy. I don't even care. I'll just remind everyone that this stream is brought to you, sponsored by Wizards of the Coast. Thank you very much, Wizards of the Coast, for giving me access to this here preview account. It's very cool. There's like 370 plus other streamers streaming Magic the Gathering right now, so you can find a heap of stuff and a heap of people to go and watch. So definitely go and have a look around. I'd prefer you stay here, obviously, but, you know, you know where I was going with that. I don't even know where I was going with that. I'm going to mute for a second so I can bite a sandwich because it's lunchtime. Thanks for that, Crutchell. Everyone wants to cheer you when you're taking a bite of sandwich. So where have you been, Crusher? I assume that I usually just stream way too late for you now. Perfectly timed. Yes, it was. Yeah, jerk. I think we go Druid here over Lavinia. Our opponent's on blue-green. Caillou, which means maybe Merfolk? Maybe a Simic Ascendancy deck? Oh, yeah, sure. Speaking of, I honestly thought he was going to counter the Prime Speaker there. I really did. Oh, no! That'll set me back a turn. I'm honestly a bit confused at what our opponent is on. Green, blue, red, huh? Why? Probably the enchantment that untap stuff at the end of their turn, I guess. I guess we're just gonna have to start valuing, aren't we? Alright. Bugle? What you got, Bugle Boy? Ooh, Tithe Taker or Knight of Autumn? Knight of Autumn it is. Time to start doing some damage. Or trying to, anyway. Oh, it's a Gates deck. Okay. This, because we don't have removal as such in this deck, this might actually be not great for us. The Gates deck I played this morning was playing the green goat. It gets +1/+1 for each gate you control, as well as gate guardians and stuff. It was miserable to play against. To be honest, it was a lot faster than this deck that our opponent is playing. Alright, we want value. Game counters. Yes. Just means we have to like keep attacking, and trying to keep up damage as much as possible. Otherwise our opponent's just gonna stall out, burn everything, kill us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So next time we need to Shalai, then the turn after, hopefully we'll have a land and we'll be able to start putting +1/+1 counters on everything. Because as soon as those Gate Guardians come down, we're in trouble. Because they're just big, and we don't have pod. It's not so bad when you've got pod, because you can sacrifice Druid of the Cow to get detention. Whoa! What? It's 1,000 Year Storm? What? Unexpected. Resolve. Okay. Our opponent is all tapped out. So, Lavinia definitely comes in. Shalai definitely comes in. Let's lock down our board. This is the matchup we wanted. We will see how we go against Storm now that Storm can't Storm. Can't Storm? Yes, if it casts a spell, if no mana were spent to cast it, then we get to counter it. Ooh, Vexy. I forgot about you. Hello. Game in a sec, question mark. So GG Vexy is also one of our Australian streamers. She usually streams during the day. Oh no. Our weakness exposed. What good is Lavinia when come on, really? No. Alright, let's just let's sit back and wait, shall we? Yeah, that's fine, we'll just keep hitting space, whatever. Time to go to sleep. And I mean, I can complain, but I've played Storm. I've done gross things. Yeah, so GG Vexy, go follow GG Vexy as well. Ah, there it is. Wilderness Reclamation. Which is funny because I was saying, I want to try this in a Storm deck, and everyone was like, it's going to be crap. Why would you play it in a Storm deck? And it's like, because it means I can go off whenever I want, twice whenever I want. And it just seems kind of win more, but good. Ah, yeah, we're done. We're done. Star of Extinction. That's a lot of damage there. 20 damage to each creature and destroy land. You looks like you're gonna kill my stuff. At least I didn't storm off and like destroy all my lands with multiple copies of it. But that's still gross. That is still gross. Growth Spiral, draw a couple of cards? Sure. Opt to draw a whole bunch of cards? Yeah, sure. Well, that's curious. No, we didn't have the other one. No, we draw it now. Yeah, great. Thanks. Yeah, I guess we're just gonna do it. It's gonna get counted. I think we're just pretty much done here, right? I mean, there's not much we can do. Oh, another route, sure. Or route, if you want to. Electro has to be in Ops deck, yeah. I'm not so sure, to be honest. What are they going to Electro Dominance out with it? That's the question. Maybe another 1000 Year Storm? I'm just not really sure. I'd actually thought about playing the card myself, and I was like, it's a bit gimmicky, it requires a lot of mana. I don't know if I could get there with mana, with the way that I build decks. But, yeah, maybe. Discovery times like 1,000,000. Turbo Fog is love. Kaio, Turbo Fog is not love. Nexus Menace. Red Black is not my magic. I'm just watching people like talk about their busted decks. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. No, I don't mind dying. Yeah, jerk. What I really want right now is a deputive detention would have been good, because we could have, you know, possibly wiped out 1000 Year Storm. That would have been nice. But I guess we just saw exactly why Storm can be so gross. Just because one good sweep is all it needs. That was observation made about 6 turns ago. Well, that's my fault. I'm trying to keep up with the chat. Just have to keep tabbing. So I guess we're just dead here, yeah? So the question is, do I think the pod is good enough for standard? I think it's missing a lot of the cool stuff. A lot of the cool stuff that we used to have back in like around Innistrad Phyrexia times. I think it is missing a whole heap of really, really solid stuff in the deck. Let's breeding pool tapped. Considering we don't have any mana boys. I think it's missing some stuff, I really do. I think that the deck will be good eventually, but right now it just doesn't have what it needs to be truly good. I think eventually it will, but we don't have any of the really strong creatures to go with it like we used to have, like Alesh Norn. Let's pod. And I think that it is actually kind of slower. It's definitely slower than pod originally was, because I mean, even if you do Prime Speaker on 3, you've got no protection for it, and that's a problem. Speaking of problems, let's Militia Bugler. Here I am going to grab a Prime Speaker, just in case. Then we're going to pop our Prime Speaker and sack our Bugler. And we're going to grab a Shalai, so we have a bit more protection. We're only going to attack with the Storm Tamer, because I'm going to play Llanowar Elves. Mostly because their opponent's only on 2 lands at the moment. If they were on 3 lands, I probably would have held off on Llanowar. Really? Okay. Mostly because Ritual of Soot is still being played, obviously, and it wipes this deck out. Just crushes it. Crushes a lot of the deck. So you have to be careful when playing against black. And again, it's another thing, and we'll might have a look at this. Have a look at some cards after this, but there is a new. I'm pretty sure it's an instant that makes all of your creatures indestructible until the end of turn, and I feel like that is something that needs to be in this deck so that your creatures can't be destroyed. Your opponent can't just like wipe your board and just wreck you. And that's one of the things of like the theory craft behind this deck, is that it is a go wide toolbox of sorts, or mostly, and that it'll be tuned over time, and that people will find a better way to actually use this deck and build this deck, and you know, any extra additional little bits and pieces that need to go in it. Speaking of, this is a horrible hand. Let's mulligan. I mean, this is still pretty bad, but we've got 4 lands and a druid, so I think we'll keep it because of the detention. We could probably cast Lyra on turn 4, so that's a thing we'll do, for sure. Not because we need to, but because I want to. Unbreakable Formation, that is the one indeed. Yes, thank you very much, Crusher J. So I think that is something that maybe fits into this deck, but again, you're trying to figure out how many copies. Like, is it 4 copies? Is it 3 copies? Is it 2 copies? And I think that is going to be a big problem with the deck. Enters tapped. Geez, we've got nothing to cast these on, so we're not going to. Smack our opponent in the face. T2 and a white instant. Creatures you control gain indestructible until the end of turn. Addendum. If you cast a spell during your main phase, put a +1/+1 counter on each of those creatures, and they gain vigilance until the end of turn. That, to me, sounds pretty spicy. Pretty spicy. Let's cast out 5/5 here. Hi, opponent. So that is, again, something that I was thinking about, because, I mean, at the very worst, you do it so you can, like, finish off your opponent as well. Speaking of finishing off our opponent, Detention Sphere, Rhythm of the Wild goes away. Let's cast Elemental Elves. Smack our opponent for 6. Gain ourselves some life. Bit of a buffer. Just because we know that this is probably a riot deck. If not Gruul, then die. Oh, another Rhythm of the Wild. That means we're going to have to play another Deputy of Detention. Ooh, an Incubation Druid. That's probably something we should take care of, actually. Ugh. No, it's got to go. Can't let you have that. And there's the conceit. That's why you never base those riot decks around that enchantment. Include it, but your deck shouldn't need it. It should help, absolutely, but if your deck needs it to win, expect your opponent's going to hate you out. How are we looking? Dive down, Siren Storm, Tamer, Elves. It's a terrible hand and we'll take it. So I guess Breeding Pool, Pay 2 Life, Lenamore Elves? What are these disturbing sounds wizards that you've put in this? Temple Garden... Tapped. Attack our opponent for 1. Siren Storm Tamer. Go. I'll just remind you all that this stream is sponsored by Wizards of the Coast. Thank you very much, Wizards, for giving me this preview account so I can play in your awesome, awesome streamer event. I'm gonna keep saying it, Michi. Gonna make you very happy. Ooh, well, that's interesting. Yeah, Tithe Taker. Let's keep swinging. I want to keep this creature around. Additional mana for us. Hinterland Harbor, I guess. That's a bit worrying. Let's just attack with the flyer. Mm-hmm. Yes, it's a Tithe Taker. Oh, is our opponent going to cast something, maybe? Oh, yeah, Bedevil. I mean, I could, but I don't think I care enough. Like, I'll just let the Tithe Taker go away. Because it gives me another flyer. I mean, we're not going to win the race against our opponent, but if they attack, we can swing back with 3 of our own. Yep, sweet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We don't have the white sources. We need an extra white. Antis tapped. Racing our opponent. Our opponent's going to win, but I don't know. Maybe, just maybe we'll get what we need. Coffee. So, Command of the Gathering is coming back. February 10th at this stage is what we're looking at for the next episode of Command of the Gathering. And it is going to be Ravnica Allegiance. So that should be good. I mean, I can dive down here, but I mean, why are you bolting the mana bird? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I draw a white source, if I don't, it doesn't matter. Let's just let that go. Well, that's not the white source that we want it to be. We're in some trouble now. Command of the Gathering, yay! Yeah, exactly. That'll be out at General Games here in Melbourne. Oh, we're in some big trouble now. There we go. Spectacle. So, with Spectacle, you may cast a spell for a Spectacle cost rather than its normal cost. If your opponent lost life, a creature with flying can't be blocked. Does trample. Flying trample 4/4 at the beginning of your upkeep. Storm of Mayhem deals 1 damage to each player. Then, if you have 10 or less life, put a +1/+1 counter on the Storm of Horribleness. It's I think we're in trouble. I think we're in trouble. Let's block the first striker. And then Hexproof. Just to keep us alive. There's our white source. It's never too late. It's too late to say goodbye. No attacks. Oh, Azor. You're such a pretty boy. Sexy boy. Hopefully gaining us some life so we don't die. But if we attack them, we die. Oh. I mean, we don't... Actually, I think we kind of do. Next turn does us 1 damage, we go down to 5. Opponent goes down to 10. This goes to a 5/5. We can't block it because we've got to block these. We will die. Oh no, we can block those. It just means that both of these die. X will only be 3, maybe 4. I think we can survive. I mean, this has Menace, so that's a problem. And Death Touch, I guess, but whatever. Now that's interesting, because, I mean, we don't have a choice, we've got to block this now. Or block this, actually. Alright, let's see what happens. Oh, trample. Well, I just killed us. Can I get a punt off that, please? Because I feel like I deserve it. Oof. Oh, chamois. To you. Alright, so, if you don't know me, I am Chesh from Cheshire Plays Games. You can go and check out my articles on Standard and on Commander over at puremtgo.com. If you're shopping at Inked Gaming, remember to use my code at checkout, which is Cheshire10, when you're checking out, because that helps the channel. And go over to youtube.com/Cheshire Plays Games and hit that subscribe button, because it's free, and subs are great. And I need to figure out doing an actual giveaway at some point, because we hit like 532 followers and I was going to do something at 500, but Australia, very hard to send stuff from here to overseas, surprisingly. I have to work all that out because sealed stuff, there's a big problem there. Anyway, that's it from me. This stream has been sponsored by Wizards of the Coast. Thank you very much, Wizards, for the preview account to do this with, and I will catch you all very soon. Before we go, Commander the Gathering Live is going to be coming back. We're going to be based out of General Games in Malvern East, Frankston, Malvern East, General Games, and that's starting on, I believe, the 10th of February, so we'll be getting myself, it'll be Salazari, my co-host, and we'll have somebody from the store jumping in as well, which is great. I don't know who that is yet, and of course, Decoder's Magic Corner. Coda's going to be coming back in. You might know Coda from the Ultimate Masters draft that he put on just before Christmas, and that's going to be great. So, take care, be awesome, be good to each other, and keep kicking butt, I guess.
I like your style, dude.
So we're gonna Jade Light